And if you have any really strong memories of like, oh my gosh, like I really didn't treat myself well there, and you almost want to
Mhm.
like hide in embarrassment or shame or grief is coming over you, you can go back through and actually change that memory. And this works really, really well because, again, big distinction between our conscious mind and our unconscious mind is that our conscious mind, which is 5% of our existence, operates in time. Like it does this so we can see, okay, there's been a past, there's a present, and there's a future, and it helps us organize information. Our unconscious mind does not operate in time at all. Time is not existent to our unconscious mind. So if you're having grief or shame or guilt or regret or embarrassment or anything about anything in your past that you've disconnected from and you've disassociated from, and you've been like, oh, I don't want to look at that because that feels really crappy, um,
Yeah.
which we all do. Your unconscious mind is running that computer program of your past as if it's still happening right now. Your conscious mind knows that it's in the past, that it's not happening right now. But your unconscious mind is literally running that computer program in your current reality. So you're living your life, you're taking in information through your five senses in your current reality, and it's going through the filter of that computer program that you're holding on to from the past. And then you're taking that through that filter, and then you're having an emotional experience about it because that emotional experience is letting you know information about this filter that you're holding on to. And then from there, that emotion that you're having, you're placing meaning to it in your mind. And that's literally where meanings come from. That's where your thoughts come from. It doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It's a process of we're taking in information. It goes through a filter in our unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind pulls up similar things from the past that it could apply it to. We generate an emotion and then we generate a thought. We generally just believe these thoughts to be true, but they're not. They're not true. What you want to do is you
Mhm.
want to recognize the thought and be like, okay, that's why in the journaling process, I say, question those beliefs, question those thoughts. Is this 100% true? Because more often than not, you're going to be like, well, I don't think this is 100% true. And that opens up like this energetic portal in your nervous system to basically denature that belief system and denature that thought so that you can access the emotion and you can change that filter, accessing your free will and generating it into one that you would rather it be, one that's going to serve you in your highest light, one that's going to, wrapping it back around to where we started, actually start to change those epigenetics that you've picked up from your family lineage and actually
Mm.
heal your nervous system, which will heal everyone else's nervous system around you, which will heal the world. Since your unconscious mind does not know time, if you were to, which we do in Nourishment Free, close your eyes and imagine a time in your life when, gosh, you just didn't treat yourself so well, and you can, pull up an image or a screen of what that looks like and watch that screen and see about how old you were. Notice your eyes, notice your face, take in any smells, go through all the five senses and really be there. Now you're actually accessing that memory, and as you're accessing that memory, I want you to really take a look at it. Notice the colors, notice the shapes, notice your hair. And I want you to just kind of float down into that version of you from the top of your head down to your toes. And in your mind's eye, go ahead. Now that you're that version of you, look down at your hands, notice your fingernails, notice your feet, notice if you're wearing shoes or not shoes, kind of what floor you're on. Notice how it feels in your body in that moment. Perfect. And notice that place in your body where it feels that particular way, where you weren't treating yourself so well. And what would you like to choose instead? Because you can choose anything. You're an infinite being of ultimate exalted power. So you can choose absolutely anything. And you can literally make up this movie any way you want. So you can choose to think something different, do something different. You can choose for somebody to show up that's going to tell you something, a message from God, a message from the universe. You can choose absolutely anything, but just allow those images to be generated and allow that to happen in this movie screen as you're in it, you're feeling it. And as you make that different decision, whether it be internally or externally, I want you to notice how that feels. You showed up and you made that new decision to empower yourself because you are a powerful being. Notice how it feels in your body, how amazing, how empowering that feels. And you'll notice that that wonderful feeling in your body is generated in a very particular spot in your body. So, first impression, just go ahead and notice where that spot in your body is. And as you bring your attention there, you'll notice that there's a particular color associated with that space in your body. Perfect. Now imagine that that color is in a ball of energy floating right above your head, and that ball of energy, in that exact same color of that really feel good way, starts to expand and fill the entire room that you're in from floor to ceiling, filling every corner, every nook and cranny until it's completely wrapping around you, intensifying this amazing feeling even more. And in a moment, not yet, go ahead and breathe that amazing color in through your nose. Yep, filling your body like fluid would fill a test tube from the tips of your toes all the way up to the very ends of your hair until every single muscle, every cell, every molecule in your body is covered in this color. And noticing how that feels, noticing how it integrates and how amazing it feels. And go ahead and double that feeling. Notice how that changes. Notice how you're in control of this process. Maybe even triple it and notice how that feels. Perfect. And go ahead and lock that feeling into your body so deeply and so completely that no force in the universe could ever take it away from you, not even you. You are now stuck with it. You've changed history, you've changed that memory. Perfect. And once you feel that, once it's locked in, I want you to imagine that you could jump back to the very beginning of that movie screen from exactly where you started. But this time, as you're in that movie screen, that same color, that amazing, colorful, wonderful feeling is expanded to fill the entire room you're in from start to finish. So you might be feeling down, sad that you're not treating yourself very well. And you go through, but that color is there. And you go through it and you make that decision to feel better, to empower yourself, whether that be internally or externally. You have that shift, that in color, that feeling intensifies. You breathe it into your body, you get to the end and you've made the change, and then jump back to the very beginning of that memory. This time, run through it faster in that same way with those same colors and those same amazing feelings. So you get to the very end and then jump back to the beginning, run through it again, this time faster. Get to the end, jump back to the beginning. I want you to keep running through this in those colors, in those amazing feelings, faster and faster and faster from beginning to end, beginning to end, beginning to end, faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. I want you to imagine that this is going so fast now, that it's going so fast that it's become almost like a blur of energy and nothing you can do can stop it. It's going so fast. You ran through it in your mind so many times that it is now permanently a part of your unconscious mind. And when you know you've got that, go ahead and breathe that color one more time in through your nose, locking it in to your body so deeply and so completely, again, that no force in the universe could ever take it away from you, not even you. And now go ahead and float back into your body. And I want you to look at this movie screen again. Notice how it's completely different than how you started. Notice how that memory is completely changed. Notice how the feelings associated from that time in your life are completely different. And I want you to imagine that there's a timeline out in front of you, and you look in one direction, there's the past, in one direction, there's the future, and look back towards your past. I want you to notice how all of the timelines are actually shifting and changing because you've now manipulated time. You've changed a memory. So everything in your life from that point on now has to shift and change in all the best ways that are right for you, and all the ways that will make you feel the most amazing, the most powerful, and the most empowered that you could possibly feel. And when those timelines have finished and completed shifting into place, I want you to bring your attention back into your body, noticing how you feel. And just gently breathe in and breathe out, knowing that these changes will probably be locking in and integrating for another 24 hours. So just make sure that nothing. It's actually going to happen regardless of whether you do anything or not do anything. If you'd like to pretend like you have some control over this integration process, you can drink some more water and have some more rest. But even if you don't do that, this change has already been made and there's nothing you can do about it because you showed up. You're powerful. You are an empowered being of the light and you made those changes. So again, notice how you feel in your body. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open up your eyes. I was going to give you a 30-second example of that, but I got carried away.